I had a intense year, a lot of material success, and a lot of emotional stress. It was very hard on me and my family.
Blake Lively's co-stars are finally breaking their silence. And let me tell you, what they're revealing about her alleged manipulation is wild. First, it was Colleen Hoover pulling away, and now Brendan Leonard and Isabella Farah are keeping their distance too. It's starting to look like the deeper the situation gets, the more everyone's realizing they might have backed the wrong person. Blake's golden girl image? Completely shattered right before our eyes. Let's dive into the drama. First up, Brendan Leonard, the actor playing Atlas, Lily's childhood sweetheart in It Ends With Us. While promoting his other project, 1923, he's been out here living his best life, without mentioning Blake at all. Fans noticed how he's been dodging questions about It Ends With Us. And honestly, the silence speaks volumes. People are speculating he's distancing himself from the controversy swirling around Blake. And with all the buzz, who can blame him? This whole situation is turning messier by the minute. When the inevitable question came up about the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni scandal, Brendan Leonard's reaction was something else. The way he dodged that question was next level, like Olympic gold medal worthy dodging. He did everything but give a straight answer. Instead, he threw out generic lines like, "I just want people to remember why we made the movie." And honestly, it was all just blah, blah, blah to most folks. People weren't buying it for a second. When someone's avoiding a question that hard, it usually means they don't want to slip up and expose something bigger. And let's talk about Justin Baldoni for a second. Hasn't he been on damage control since he got the rights to It Ends With Us? Even at the movie premiere, when the whole cast, Brendan included, was decked out in florals showing support for Blake, Justin seemed more focused on saving face than celebrating the movie. Fans couldn't help but notice. He was standing firm, making sure he didn't get thrown under the bus. This cast tension is getting harder to ignore. Brendan Leonard isn't letting any of this faze him, but let's be real. He's basically just echoing what Justin Baldoni's been saying from the jump. He's out here repeating, "This movie was made to make an impact, especially for those who've experienced DV." Sure, that's true, but where was this energy when the drama was at its peak? It's kinda ironic. After everyone chose sides, the drama exploded and the damage was done. Now the cast suddenly remembers the film's original purpose? The same purpose they seemed to forget when they were busy helping Blake promote her pricey shampoo that nobody asked for? Make it make sense! And then came Gayle King, who wasn't playing around. She went straight for the jugular, asking Brendan point blank if he was Team Blake or Team Justin. His response? Let's just say it was telling, but things didn't end there. Buckle up, because what he said next took everyone by surprise. This right here proves it. The whole cast has pretty much jumped ship. Sure, they're not outright saying they're siding with Justin, but let's be honest, it's crystal clear. They're just playing it safe now, trying to act neutral. And honestly, that's what they should have done from the beginning. But if you don't realize how big this is, let me break it down for you. Let's rewind to December 2024. This is where things get real interesting. Back then, Brendan Leonard was ride or die for Blake. He was out here standing 10 toes down for her, even reposting her legal complaint against Justin Baldoni on Instagram with a heart emoji, basically telling everyone, believe Blake no matter what. Fast forward a few months, and suddenly, radio silence. Brendan's gone from Blake's loudest supporter to barely saying a word. Naturally, people are scratching their heads, wondering what changed so fast. To top it off, Blake accused Justin of serious stuff, including launching a smear campaign against her. This whole situation just keeps getting messier, and folks are demanding answers. Brendan Leonard wasn't shy at first. On Wednesday, he posted Blake Lively's complaint against Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios on his Instagram story, tagging her with a heart emoji. That move made his support loud and clear. But let's talk about how fast Hollywood flips the script. 1 minute, everyone was backing Blake. She was the bigger star, the bigger name. When she dropped those accusations against Justin, Siding with her seemed like a no-brainer. But now? The public mood has shifted fast. People are looking closer at the facts, realizing that being a beloved actress doesn't automatically make someone right. With new evidence surfacing, fans, and even her co-stars are starting to wonder if they jumped to conclusions too soon. And that's exactly why Brendan's vibe has completely changed. Gone are the heart emojis and public declarations of support. He's quiet now, and that silence is loud. Let's get into this whole staying neutral thing, though. In Hollywood, neutrality isn't about fairness. It's just code for, I'm waiting to see who comes out on top before I choose sides. And right now, everyone's watching how this plays out. The cast has definitely read through Justin's lawsuit, and now they're moving real careful. Nobody wants to risk their career over someone else's mess, especially when the legal talk starts getting serious. But here's where things get extra messy. Brendan's early reactions? Yeah, people haven't forgotten. A half-hearted backtrack isn't cutting it. Once you take a public stance, there's no erasing it. Like it or not, this is going to follow Brendan way longer than he expected. Fans are already questioning why he was so quick to jump in and back Blake. Especially if Justin turns out to be innocent, that's a stain that's hard to shake off. And guess what? Brendan's not the only one pulling a quiet retreat. Isabella Farah, who plays young Lily, was once all in, cheering Blake on. But lately, she's been silent. No more waving the Blake Lively flag, no more public support, nothing. And you know how it goes? When people start distancing themselves quietly, it usually means they've caught wind of something we haven't. The way folks are backing away now, it's speaking louder than any words could. Isabella Farah has been quite the figure in this scandal, her name popping up in both Blake and Justin's lawsuits. According to Baldoni's suit, there are screenshots of texts allegedly sent by Farah where she showered him with praise for her first feature film experience. She supposedly wrote, "You are such a wonderful, smart, and sincere director, and you created such a comfortable, safe space for me to fully step into this role. I couldn't have asked for a more welcoming environment. It will stay with me for the rest of my life." Sounds pretty heartfelt, right? Baldoni's lawsuit points out that Farah worked closely with him when Blake wasn't on set. But here's the twist. After spending significant time with Blake during the film's promotional tour, Farah's attitude reportedly shifted, cutting off the warm words she once shared with Justin. Suspicious much? And let's not forget what Farah said during an interview at It Ends With Us premiere. She was fangirling hard just being around Blake, not to mention her entire outfit that day. Head-to-toe Blake, lively. The floral dress, the bracelets, even the shoes. All gifted by Blake herself. The change in loyalty is wild. One minute it's praise and gratitude, the next it's silence and distance. What really went down behind the scenes? Isabella Farah had no choice but to stick by Blake, especially after Blake made it seem like she only landed the role because Taylor Swift pulled some strings for her. But guess what? Turns out that claim wasn't entirely true. And let's be real, Blake wasn't just throwing shade at Justin Baldoni. She had the whole cast, including Justin, playing by her rules. It was like everyone was caught in her web, following her lead without question. Sure, Taylor might have had some influence, but Blake's grip on the set? Strong. But here's where things get interesting. Ever since Justin started rolling out receipts and dropping evidence, Isabella has gone quiet, like radio silent. And now people are piecing it together. Brendan Leonard and the rest of the cast probably backed Blake at first because it felt safer. No one wanted to risk being labeled as someone who doesn't believe a woman in sensitive situations like this. But now that things aren't looking so clear-cut, Brendan's making moves to not sync with the ship. And the latest buzz from Brendan's interview? It's got people talking about just how much influence Blake really had over her co-stars. This drama is far from over. Let's be real. Blake's influence over the cast was way stronger than anything Justin could offer for their careers. Honestly, the only reason Blake got away with so much is because even Justin knew the risk. Going against her could end his career if he didn't tread carefully. And that's exactly how we ended up with that Ryan Reynolds-inspired version of the rooftop scene. Think about it. Going against Blake isn't just about Blake. It means going against Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds. There's a reason Blake brought them into the mix. We're talking about people with serious industry power, the kind of influence that can make or break someone's entire career. If Ryan decides he's done with you, that's it. It's a wrap. So when folks say, "Oh, the cast is just waiting to see how this plays out," what they really mean is that everyone's being super careful, making sure they stay in Hollywood's good graces when this all blows over. And honestly, can you blame them? In this industry, once you go against that kind of machine, you better have an army backing you, or you're done. Hollywood doesn't do loyalty, plain and simple. I mean, just look at how fast people distance themselves when things get messy. Blake's world, it's crumbling right now. Brendan Leonard's latest response makes it clear. She no longer has the support she thought she did. Colleen Hoover, long gone. And honestly, it seems like Blake is finally realizing she overplayed her hand. Hollywood runs on alliances, and right now, Blake's circle is shrinking fast. And let me tell you, this is just the start of the fallout. With Brendan and Isabella already switching sides, others are following suit. Even Blake Lively's own publicist, Leslie Sloan, wants out of this chaos. She's officially filed a request to be removed from the messy lawsuit altogether. But let's be real, it's too late for that. Leslie's starting to see that sticking around isn't going to end well for her, and for those who missed how she got tangled up in all this, it was Justin Baldoni who exposed that Leslie allegedly played puppet master behind the scenes, pulling strings for Hollywood's elite and making moves most people never even see. Now, even Leslie's jumping ship. When your own publicist is running for cover, you know things are bad. Leslie Sloan's job was to clean up messes and make bad PR vanish. That's exactly why Blake brought her on board. But when Leslie tried to help Blake take down Justin Baldoni, it backfired big time. Now Leslie's name is getting dragged through the mud, and these new receipts are only making things worse. Sources close to the situation claim Leslie allegedly orchestrated a full-blown cover-up to shield Blake from the fallout of her own actions. The lengths she reportedly went to? Shocking! We're talking about silencing whistleblowers, twisting narratives, and even trying to discredit Justin Baldoni. Emails and linked messages reveal what looks like a deliberate attempt to frame Justin while keeping Blake's reputation squeaky clean. An anonymous insider spilled, Leslie had no problem throwing anyone under the bus if it meant protecting her client. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she did it without hesitation. And let's not forget, this all lines up with when Justin started facing a wave of bad press. His legal team even included these alleged tactics in their lawsuit. The deeper this goes, the messier it gets. And right now, Leslie's damage control is looking like damage done. They've got receipts showing that the smear campaign against Justin Baldoni was planned way before the New York Times even dropped that bombshell article on him. That's how powerful, connected, and allegedly ruthless Leslie Sloan is. But now, she's scrambling to distance herself, trying to get her name wiped from Blake's case because teaming up with Blake is looking like it could be her downfall. But here's the catch. Unlike others, Sloan doesn't get to just walk away. She's in this lawsuit whether she likes it or not. Not only is she set to testify, but the legal mess is draining through the massive paycheck Blake gave her just to cover her own legal fees. And get this, she's demanding Justin Baldoni foot the bill. The audacity! As more evidence keeps surfacing, the truth is getting harder to ignore. Baldoni was set up, and the real masterminds? Allegedly none other than Leslie Sloan and Blake Lively. Despite all the false claims and relentless hits to his reputation, Justin's been standing firm, refusing to be another casualty of Hollywood's ruthless power plays. And judging by how fast the cast is jumping ship, Blake's claims are looking real suspicious. This whole thing, it's unraveling fast. Public opinion has shifted hard since Justin Baldoni started exposing Blake Lively and Leslie Sloan. And people feeling fooled has only made things worse for them. The backlash, real and loud. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, Blake and Ryan Reynolds started scrambling to get Justin's lawsuit tossed out. Their legal team filed a motion to dismiss the $400 million defamation case, hoping to dodge the flames before things got completely out of control. But let's be honest, this move screams desperation. At this point, there's no way they're getting out of this unscathed. What's wild is that Blake doesn't even seem to realize how serious things have gotten. Word is, she's been acting like she can pick and choose who's allowed to question her, as if she still holds all the cards. But with the pressure mounting and her allies dropping like flies, that confidence is looking real misplaced. This legal storm isn't slowing down anytime soon, and Blake might be in for a rude awakening. Blake Lively really tried it. She straight up suggested she might refuse to sit for a deposition if Justin Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman was involved. But newsflash, that's not how the legal system works. Legal experts wasted no time dragging her for that attempt, making it crystal clear that no judge was about to entertain that kind of nonsense. Right now, Blake and Ryan Reynolds' entire defense is looking shaky. And to make matters worse for them, more and more people are rallying behind Justin, especially as heartwarming stories about his kindness keep coming to light. Like, did you hear he let someone stay at his house after they lost everything in the recent LA fires? Moves like that are speaking volumes compared to Blake's mess. Meanwhile, Blake's camp is in full panic mode. Her team and former allies are scrambling to distance themselves, trying to save their own reputations. But honestly, that damage is done. And if this case moves forward the way it's expected to, Blake and Ryan are in for a rude awakening. So what do you think? Is the world finally seeing through Blake's alleged manipulation? Or is there still more to this wild story? Let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments because I need to hear your take on all this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and stay tuned right here. I've got you covered with every jaw-dropping twist and turn. This drama isn't slowing down anytime soon, so stay locked in. You won't want to miss what's next.